When you're leading change within a HR function, there's often a temptation to look at the internal resource you've got, but actually, because people are very familiar with the models and the activities, you don't really necessarily get the level of challenge within the team that you would want, and therefore for me it's incredibly important to partner with an external organisation that can help facilitate and drive that change. But the key word in there is partner. So you've got to find an organisation that you can trust, trust to drive you in the right direction, but really trust to hold you to account. And I've been fortunate to work with Dove Nest over many years with different organisations, and I believe I have that relationship with them, and I know that many of my team would now say they have that relationship, and we have together driven the team forward, and I think that's been incredibly successful and is incredibly advantageous to us.
Having the opportunity to come to Dove Nest has been brilliant. It makes you put the handbrakes on, stop and take stock of where you are, where you want to go to in the future. Getting to know each other more as well. Since the last time we came, I would go to Jan and Dave a lot more than what I would have done previously, because I understand more about their role, but trust them more as people as well, because I'd never really afforded them any time before, because when you're at work and everything's happening, you don't give each other those moments to build new relationships with them, I suppose. So it's been a great help in helping clear things up in your head and just taking stock and seeing how you can move things forward as an individual but as a team as well. So it's been great, and the views are amazing.
I think Dove Nest is absolutely fantastic external supplier that we use, and I feel really honoured to be taken here away from work for 2 to 3 days to really work together as a team and understand how we can work better and link our HR strategy to our organisational strategy. I mean, who wouldn't want to come to the Lake District? I think everyone's really lucky, and the fact that we can be here out of a working environment is just brilliant to get that headspace and put the handbrake on.
I think the Dove Nest programme is fantastic in that it evolves, and I think there's been huge bits we'd planned at the start that we haven't gone there with, because the team have moved at different speeds or had different skills and outcomes than we anticipated they may have been when we went into each session. I think if I'd have done anything differently, I'd have widened the scope of the number of people who attended at the start. We've naturally ended up with a position where there's much more people attending at the back end of the programme, because there was a nervousness as to how many people we pushed forward. With hindsight, I'd have gone quicker and we'd have brought more people in earlier.
We've had a long relationship with Dove Nest as one of our key training partners. This has evolved over many times from new store openings. As a person that comes from a history of team builds are a waste of time, Dove Nest have quite a unique way of actually bringing into the environment ways that you can set scenarios to really bring out true behaviours and people discover things about themselves that they just wouldn't in a simple classroom. So it's always been a model that we've used and looked at if it works for new store openings, and if you look at the portfolio they're offering, we've looked into how we can grow the senior management team, the leaderships of different parts of the organisations to all have their own tailored journey, but it constantly is about doing stuff and then actually realising the implications of your actions, your behaviours and your quality of thinking. Dove Nest really kind of nail that in the actual moment rather than it's a fun thing just to do.
The way I see that Dove Nest has helped the DFS HR department is really helping us bring the people plan that's been devised to life. So helping us set the strategy, helping us in an environment that we can properly challenge thinking and come up with ideas in an environment where you're not disturbed by the day-to-day work issues. And it's really helpful having somebody from outside the business who can sort of force you to challenge some thinking that maybe internal people wouldn't. So, stretching us, making us push the envelope. I think having an external partner for me is essential.
I think anybody who wants to drive change amongst a tight group of people really should make sure they put a huge amount of time into it. The programme we've taken at DFS is a number of days we've taken people out of the business. There's a huge benefit to taking them to a location where phones don't work and taking that distractions out, and being confident enough to say to the business, look, this team is simply not available for these few days. And I think far too many people, whether it's for reasons of internal perception or whether it's reasons of cost or whether it's reasons of time, don't create that space. And I truly believe, and I've seen it time and time again through this programme as we've done it, that if you don't create that space and time, you just cannot get the same pace of change.